everyone. Today's episode of the Artist Spotlight we will spend with a Singaporean rapper with a unique style and my personal best recent discovery in the music, Fariz Jabba.
Wow,
Hello,
I'm so
Fariz.
flattered. Wow.
Thanks for joining
Hi.
us today. How are you
No
today?
problem, no problem.
Good.
Today, to be honest, I'm a little bit rushed. My mind's like racing. I just came from a haircut. I have a shoot later after this, and constantly chasing for time. But today, I feel productive, and I think that's good. Usually, I think a lot of people during the pandemic days felt like being busy. They kind of miss being busy. So I miss this feeling, and I think it's good that I'm busy. Yeah.
Yeah. I will try to make our interview as comfortable as I can for you today so you can relax a little bit and just enjoy the conversation. Let's do that.
Thank you so much.
But I would like to start with like basic things. Your music
Okay.
is recognizable through its bilingual rap verses. So why do you
Okay.
use two languages? What are your roots?
Um, I am by ethnicity I'm Malay. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, I speak Malay, and but the thing is, like, I would consider my first language to be English, because I live in Singapore and, like, predominantly, we're the minority race, so we use English definitely
Mm.
to as the main language, and I feel like as I got older, I um, found myself a little bit more rooted towards my history or my ethnicity or my culture. I think just generally because um, I'm not sure. I think I want to connect to my people a little bit more.
Mm.
At the same time, that's a I'm also half Malaysian,
Mm.
so I'm also talking to Malaysia in my music a lot.
Mm.
And yeah, I think in general, as I got older, I meet more Malay friends in Singapore, and I just want to speak to the people who have their first language as Malay. You
Mm.
understand what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
understand.
yeah, that's why I use both.
And I
Yeah.
personally think it's like it's really add a cool vibe to the song. It's very vibrant. So if you use two languages, it's
Thank
very
you.
cool. Yeah, and people actually, the one
Yeah.
who are your fans, or like want to dig into that, they might be willing to actually understand
Yeah, and
what does it mean. Yeah.
in a way, it's like a lot of people are introduced to hip hop in Malaysia, for example. Like, I mean, it has been around for a while, but the thing is, like, um, I see myself as somebody who, that how to say, brings in some sort of like example. So if you
Mm.
think about it, like I use simple lyrics for English and
Mm-hmm.
Malay so that I can introduce both sides. So
Both
I
sides.
can show it to my non-Malay friend, and he can
Mm-hmm.
understand some of the Malay words. At the same time, the Malaysians can understand some of the English words.
Mm.
So that's why I use both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very smart. And my next question then linked to the probably your artist name, Fariz Jabba. I guess
Okay.
it's probably half nickname, half your real name. So tell us what
Yeah.
inspired you to take this artist name.
Well, my real name is Faris.
Mm.
My Faris Rashid. So Rashid is my dad's name. Like,
Mm.
we Malays do it like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like
Mm.
our our name first, and then followed by our dad's name.
Mm.
But the thing is, I chose Java because when I was a kid, or still now even, I love this dance group called the Jabberwockies. So
Oh,
they're the ones with the mask, the white
okay.
mask. So to me, like, they revolutionized like pop dance groups back in the day in 2011, 2010,
Okay.
and it was cool to have a crew, It's cool to have a hip hop crew
Yes,
and everything.
absolutely.
So I was like, I was in my secondary school, like, constantly in the big mirror area, and I would just be doing like random choreographies and stuff like that. I would like
Mm.
get people to dance with me. I would start dance crews and stuff, and then it just became a thing. Like people call me Jabba because
Mm.
I love Jabberwocky so much. Then the name just stuck. I put it on my Facebook name, and now it's just perpetual.
It
Fariz
sounds
Jabba.
cool. It sounds cool. Come on, great job.
Thank you, thank you. My dad actually thought that I picked a strong Arabic name. He was like, um, he said that Jabbar means strength or power in
Mm.
Arabic.
Mm.
So he was so happy. He was like, "Wow, you chose such a powerful name. Wow!" Just now, I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, it's actually Jabberwockies."
Let's say that I'm so clever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna let him have it, but I was
Amazing.
like, "Nah, don't be too proud of me.
Yeah.
It's the Jabberwockies."
Oh, but it's cool. Very cool coincidence, actually. And you know how there is expression how you name yourself. That's how your career develops and something like that, right? So you have a
Yeah.
good definitely courage to do that. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Back to your unusual name and about your style, unique style, which I found
Okay,
personally really unique because you can
thank you.
rap, and that's what we all expect from rappers. But you can also sing. And what the most impressed me when I saw you on stage last year, that you can dance. So how come you decided to combine all of these elements in your performances? And do you kind of think, do you present yourself only as a rapper, or how do you feel?
Um, I think in general, um, and when I say general, it's within my proximity, like Singaporeans, Malaysians, or the people who are used to my music. They would probably consider me as a rapper, and the reason behind that is because I entered the game or entered the industry as a rapper,
Mm,
and that's where I gained my fame or my popularity in
mm,
a sense. So I think in general, people will consider me as a rapper, but for me,
mm,
I I actually somebody has asked me before, like what are you? So what are you then? So I would say I'm a Singaporean artist. Like that's what I am. Like basic. That's just if you think about it, Singaporean artist is there's layers to that
mm,
because if Singaporean artist means that by culture I'm Singaporean, and the reason why I speak like this, why I'm like 50% like city boy,
mm,
50% like village boy, is because of my cultural roots and
mm,
the fact that I like to mash all the things together. Like I would see my artistry as like a prism of my head, and I don't want to put myself into um, categories
mm,
and box myself like that. And I think that's how artists generally plateau with their creativity and their thinking, right?
mm,
So I started out dancing when I was young, and as I got older, I mean, hip hop was always in my life.
mm,
So I started getting more vocabulary, of course, at 15 and 16, and started writing my own raps. Um, and then it got serious. And singing was always, hand in hand with
mm,
rap, it's always like singing hooks and rap. So I was the kind of guy that like wanted to do it all. I just wanted to do it all. And I wasn't very good in all three, to be honest. So I took my time and
mm.
in the different phases of my life, I obsessed myself and I put myself through like a boot camp just to see how far I can go.
Okay.
So I think I started when I was dancing, and then I went to a point where I was like, okay, I'm good enough to a point where I'm like, I feel that I enjoy doing it now. It
Mm,
doesn't feel like a effort or like oh I gotta learn more. I can just freestyle now. I can just dance.
mm,
Like it feels good. And then it went to rap. So rap, it's a little bit tougher, right? Because there's
mm,
rhyme schemes, there's double entendres, there's double meanings and stuff like that. So I did my research. So what I did was, when at the age of like 15, something like that, I understand that hip hop is not my culture, right? Hip hop is
mm,
is a specifically African American culture.
mm,
I started from the Bronx and
mm,
everything. So I went to do my research because it's only right for me to do that. I went back. I went all the way back to Big Daddy Kane. I went back all the way to Ice Cube NWA and understood from the 80s, the Def Jam era, Beastie Boys and everything. And
mm,
then I went, like, consequently to the
mm,
90s. and I understood about the Baking Park and how that revolutionized the hip hop world. And then 2000s when all the rappers got rich, so they started making party music. That's why you got In the Club by 50 Cent and stuff like that. And then 2010s when they were like, oh, we're talking about partying too much. Okay, we need to go back to conscious rap. And then Kendrick came in, J. Cole came in. So I studied rap, and then I think rap is dense, so dense in itself that I got obsessed with it, and then I wanted to be the best in Singapore, and I wanted to make a mark. So that's what I was planning to do. And with singing is actually a completely different aspect. Singing to me is a medium of how you express your emotions, like your soft emotions, like I feel. So I have this guy, I have this mentor slash big brother. His name is Zeke Flight School. So he was the one that actually taught me how to record music. He taught me there's a difference between singing live and singing on the microphone, singing, recording, and stuff like that. So, and then he taught me the ropes of how do you talk to people in the industry, because I'm a reckless, rude boy from 16 years old, brash, and like I know I don't care about nobody, but like I'm so glad there are people in my life like him and my big brother who's a comedian, Fakafaz, who
Yeah.
taught me how to talk to people and how to maneuver around the game. So yeah, that's basically it. Dance, rap, sing, and I just wanted to mash everything together. I think till this day, nobody knows what I do properly, but I kind of like that. You know,
Mm.
wouldn't it be? I feel like it's like, oh, what is he gonna do now? And also I look at myself as a developing artist. I don't look at myself as somebody who is like, oh yeah, I know what I want, and I'm like, all right, I already did so many things.
Mm.
Fact is, I don't even have an album out. There's only singles out at this point, and the fact that like people are already reacting and giving me the support at this point in my life, in this new venture in my life, um, it's amazing. And I can't ask for more. Honestly, all I gotta do is work hard, and
Mm.
you know,
Do your best,
you gotta
right?
do that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think it's actually a very smart approach to kind of define yourself as an artist, because you're not limited yourself in a way, right? So you can, if you
yeah,
kind of decide to go in a totally different direction, you're free to do that. And
exactly.
frankly, to my personal opinion, I think that nowadays is everything what is kind of super interesting, super like fresh, is something which is a collab of everything, or mashup. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
best
true.
way.
I think
That's
music,
yeah,
music, music right now is like genreless.
yeah.
I mean, if you heard Igor, Tyler the Creator's album, it's
Mm,
just
mm,
experimental music, and it got number one. So I think in this day and age, like we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't stick to data. We shouldn't stick
mm,
to like, oh, Faris, you should do this because this works more. Blah blah
mm,
blah. It's like, so what? So what if it doesn't work?
mm.
As long as my fans know it's authentic for me, and in this phase of my life, I wanted to be this person. Like, can you blame Pharrell for stopping music for a while and doing fashion? No,
Mm.
right? He's just being an artist. So
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing, um, when it comes to categorizing ourselves. Like, if somebody were to say like, I am a rapper,
Mm,
100%, cool. That's
mm,
that's totally
mm,
fine.
mm.
But like they chose something and they stuck with it and they love it. But I'm pretty sure they're not just a rapper. And I'm pretty sure they're turning a
Yeah.
blind eye to a lot
Mm-mm.
of untapped potential in any other mediums of expression.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. It's cool that you mention fashion, because that's what I was also curious about, your style itself. Now we can see that you are very, very colorful. So tell,
Colorful,
yeah,
colorful.
very cool color. Is it a green or blue or something in between? Or
Um,
I can
it
see.
was it was blue, and then because a couple of washes, went to the swimming pool, chlorine water, it's probably just
Ah,
like
cool.
wiped out the
Okay, okay.
color.
So the natural blue now. Okay, but
That's
I
right.
was wondering, is it like you also is like the way to express yourself, or you use any stylist who help you to like?
Um, well, I think it's the style is constantly uh, evolving, you know. Yeah. I never really cared about how I look only
Mm.
when I started only when I started like doing things professionally, only when I started going up on stage, and I realized that, hey man, like I kind of want to dress up a little bit better, but I just don't have the style eye. I
Mm.
think that's what
Mm.
people call
Mm.
it. And as I got older, I think my style just mirrored my age, you know? So when I was
Mm.
young, you see me wearing a backpack, you see me wearing shorts, you
Mm.
see me wearing
Mm.
sneakers, you see me wearing hoodies and stuff like that. And then as I got older, I wanted to be a little bit more experimental. And then I realized by watching people like Pharrell, watching people like who's this Nigo from
Mm.
you see like old fashion icons like Cameron, ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, all these people.
Mm.
They just bend the norm of like what you could wear. And then I realized something. I said, hey, our body is a canvas, right? We can do whatever we want.
Mm.
And if I feel orange, I want to dye my hair orange. If I feel blue, I want to dye my hair blue. And it's not about what you think, it's about what I feel and how
Mm.
I look at myself and what my perceived value is. And that's why I do my nails.
Mm.
That's why I care about the thread that I put on because it's kind of like my super suit. You know, if I
Mm.
put this on, even if it's a bad day, but I feel showered, I feel clean, I feel well kept. I got clean shoes on, clean underwear on, a nice haircut. Even if it's a bad day, I feel fresh, and
Yeah.
that's way more important than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I know, I
Yeah.
know.
So the style just evolves, I guess. At this point, um, of my style of I think I'm starting to like cute stuff a little less. Last time I used to like the pearls, I used to like flowers, I used to like bright colors and stuff like that. But now I see myself just wearing like Steve Jobs jeans,
Yeah.
clean, and I think because I just turned 25, and like I find myself liking things that are like, just a little bit more. I don't
Simple.
know, man. Just simple,
Mm.
clean,
Mm.
to the point, straight to the point. Yeah, so as I'm saying, like the style just keeps evolving through time.
I
So,
was
but
going to yeah.
yeah, you were saying?
No, I was just going to comment a little bit that your kind of your black sweater or what is that is very cool, kind of basic for your hair, so it looks even brighter. It's very cool, very kind of
Exactly.
stylish,
Wow.
not too
It's
much.
cool. It's cool that you notice. It's cool that
Yeah,
you notice
yeah.
that because like my nails are colored, my
Mm.
hair is colored,
Yeah.
my shoes are colored, but just like I keep it
Mm.
simple and like these things you learn, these things you learn like along the
That's
way and
style
stuff.
in action, you know.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's cool. Thanks for sharing your kind of journey in fashion. And now I would like to talk a bit about your career, how it developed, because
Sure.
that's what I
Okay.
found, that you started like thanks to social media. And you took some
Mm-hmm.
freestyle rap contest and you put it on Instagram and other social media. You did some remixes,
Yeah.
and then you started to be noticed by the powerful people in the industry. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, what do you think about the social media as a tool for new artists? And do you think you would become musician if you don't have the social platform? How would you continue to do music?
Interesting. Because yeah, that's an interesting question. And the reason behind that is because I started just because of Twitter and Instagram, right? So without Twitter and Instagram, um, I think in general, because over here in Singapore at that period of time, there weren't, easy gateways to
Mm.
enter the scene. And it wasn't like as if it was open arms. Hey, please come to this show. Hey, please do this open mic or whatever. Or at least at that time, for a youngin like me at that time, like 16, 17, obviously you can't go to clubs. You can't go to bars or whatever to do all these shows and expose yourself to all these people, right? So I guess because of social media, the the age where somebody becomes good at something is and also at the same time, the amount of exposure that you get for somebody younger is much higher. And because there's information at the palm of your hand, so a lot of people say that this is the age of information, but I think we are past the age of information. We're actually at the age of curation, because everybody is technically a cyborg. You know, you
Yeah.
have your phone. You know every single piece of information ever on the internet. So, like, it's a matter of what you do to curate it, right? And I think social media is a gift and a curse because, you know, obviously you do have people that improve on their skill set, and you know, like, their trajectory is exponential, and I'm a great example of that. But at the same time, you do have like the dark side of it where you see 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds and even 11-year-olds like giving a damn about how they look, which they should just like, you know, they don't have to, because they should just continue being a kid, you know, like it's not that serious. But you know, because of TikTok and because of especially like comparison with how they should be on the internet, or what their humor should be, of how they should carry themselves, what words they should use, what songs they should like. And you know, nobody's telling them that this is what they should listen to, but kids want to feel included, right? So that's why you see all these kids wearing Vans, and all these kids
Yeah.
wearing all this fashion stuff, but they have no idea where it comes from, you know. Like, so that's the dark side. You know, we do have a higher concentration of kids that have you know, in these physical or material insecurities, and that is the dark side. But you know, if you are somebody who keeps that at bay, if you are somebody who have people around you to remind you that you are your value is bigger than the internet, at which I and my best friend Young Raja have the privilege to have the people around us to tell us that. And I think that's the most important part, and that's the answer to how I feel social media could be a great tool. At the same time, the secret is you need a support system to remind you. Yeah.
Is it any like platform in Singapore for the newbies musicians, like 16 Berries? I heard it's quite cool for hip hoppers, or is it already? It's not for
There's
new people.
so there's a lot of underground echo channels. I mean, I honestly, like, I have a couple of friends that do it. I can name a couple of the top. Like, there's this rap show. I think it's a competition actually. But
Like
it's you know,
battle.
it's a bit, it's not really a rap battle. I think they were trying to do it more like rhythm and poetry in a sense. But sorry, is it called rhythm and poetry? Sorry, the Netflix show, the one with Chance the Rapper and everything. It was a
Is it an
competition.
Asian? No.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's basically a rap show, and it's called Fresh Off the Block. So that one recently got. I don't think it's getting enough, you know, support, or it's not echoed enough. But I think they're doing pretty well because, like, you know, they got other um, you know, veterans in the scene like Sheikh Haikal, Shahid, you got Rauzan, you got Fox, the producer, you got all these people coming together to judge the show, and like you got new kids like from every race coming in to like submit their songs and compete. And you have echo channels like there's this new one called Control by None. It's like very, just imagine like the, you know, colors on YouTube where they do the spotlight for an artist, and then they do their song, and every single set is different and a different color or a different style. So there are definitely a lot of YouTube channels. There are a lot of platforms that do you know, showcase these new artists, but definitely it just needs a little bit more. I think people just gotta toughen this time out, because it's gonna be like the shows are gonna come back. You know, the shows are definitely gonna come back. So everybody's just gotta constantly curate, create, and withstand the test of time. Or like if they don't, then they're not gonna enjoy um how to say being within the shows with experience, you know? So there are a lot,
Yeah.
but it's just whether you can tahan is how to say that, like control,
Control.
whether you can control or whether you can resist the test of time. It's going to be tough for somebody who's like, can you be a rapper but be broke for 3 years? Because that's just the way Singapore works. We don't receive that much love for rap or hip hop, you know. But if you can do that, then there's a chance for you. If you
Okay.
can stay hungry for many, many years, knowing that like you need to take this time to know how to not just know how to rap, but know how to stand on stage, know how to talk to people in the industry, the powerful people in the industry, maneuver around the game, change your style, constantly set trends, and be consistent at the same time, but also have a message to say. If you could be all these things, then you have a chance to be somebody great in Singapore, I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. And now I would like to talk about your music actually itself, because your
Okay.
first single, Apasia, and your last
Yeah.
release, Kala, they gained
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
views on YouTube, like over a million. That's a great result. Congratulations. Really impressive. Like,
Thank
as
you
you
so
said, if
much.
it's
Thank you.
Singaporean hip hop industry so small, then it's outstanding results. But what I want to discuss with you, and we discussed it actually a little bit before, because they're very different. It's super different. I will put to our viewers, I will put a bit, cut of that so they can compare them. But they're like, the first one is like really serious, like classic rap track.
Yeah.
And the last one is a bit pranky, saying fun, like, yeah. So my question to you is like, again, which you partly already answer, like, is your developing of your style, or is like, why is so huge tune in a performance?
It's quite interesting because it's quite interesting you mentioned that. And the reason is because there's a language barrier, right? A lot of people who don't understand Malay would see the difference between the two. But for a
Okay.
Malay person who understands rap, they will understand that the two are one and the same. And because of the first one, right, it's called apasya. So apasya is a term or a phrase that we always use if we are saying something rhetorical, like a
What's up?
what is that? Like, yo, why would you do that? Something like that. Like, like
Okay.
WTF, like why? But that's our thing, like apasya. So it looks serious, but the raps and the lyrics are satirical. So I talk about, like I eat 2 packets of Maggie Mee because I'm broke. I slide into the bus because I have no money for my bus fare. My mom blue ticked me because I didn't reply her. But now I go home and then she's gonna whack me and stuff like that. So it's all satirical. It's like based on me as a teenager, like the woes of a teenage boy. And it's nothing serious, to be honest. It sounds like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. But nah, none of that.
Okay.
So I've always liked the idea of understanding and and contextually telling you what kind of rapper I am. Like I've always liked rappers like Lil Dicky. I've always liked rappers like Slim Shady, but not Eminem when he got serious, but when he was funny. And the reason why I like that is because I feel that Singaporeans are generally goofy guys. We're just goofy people. And it's just who we are. And I think we should just stick to the fact that we are like that. And I think that's the adorable part. So my job is to marry cool at the same time give you what you are used to, which is comedy, because that's who I am. I'm not a hard ass like, yo man, I'm gonna kill you. I live pretty alright over here. Things are safe over here. I love my friends over here. Like I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't, my troubles are different. My troubles is what I choose to talk about later. Everybody got troubles, but the thing is, I could use rap to unite people by using satire, by using funny punchlines, and that to me that's always been in rap. Funny punchlines have always been in rap. So I just use this opportunity or use this platform to, make like a 10-year-old rap. I want to make a 10-year-old rap at the same time. The song is hard enough for a 21-year-olds to want to rap about it. So like I'm trying to marry the two. So for Abasia, uh, the formula was pretty much the same for the next one as well. And yeah, again, like for the second one, I was doing more than just doing satire. I was actually introducing a sound that a lot of people haven't heard in Singapore. Like if you hear it, it's like a grime flow. It's like a grime UK flow, and like the style and the cadence of raps are very different from what they are used to in Malaysia or in Singapore. So yeah, that's what me and my friend did, Omar. We wanted to add a little bit of elements. So if you realize,
Yeah.
every single point of my career, I'm introducing something that I feel that people don't pay attention enough to.
So you
So
highlighted it in a way.
yeah,
Yeah.
I highlight it. So like in Apasia, like I give you what you want, but at the same time, I put a little bit of satire. Oh, that's very interesting, like a very Singaporean satire style. And then I did like R&B stuff because I realized there's no dancing R&B guy in Singapore, so I'm like, I'm gonna be the guy. But then so on and so forth. Every single video or song has a certain message behind it, even though it's not said in the music, it's not said in interviews. But as long as I know and you know, you know, you know what I mean? It's just a thing, yeah.
Oh, thank you so
So
much. It
yeah,
was a really nice explanation, actually. And for your international fans, it would be great to actually get this to understand what are your thoughts behind the music you create. But I would like also to
that's
ask you
great.
about like your solo releases, like Dari Senior
Mm,
or others. Like I was wondering, like when you create the music, do you? I obviously understood now that you have a message which you want to say, and you have a lot of. But do
yeah.
you kind of? Is it a long process for you, or you just created it like naturally, how you
I
are as
think
a creator?
I'm not sure. So Olga, are you a writer? Would you consider yourself a writer as well?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. So do you create in any sense? Like do you paint? Do you do anything? Like what do you like play sports or what do you do? What's your
Um,
favorite thing?
I would say no. I'm actually more like a person who like expert, I would say. I'm dig into things and I try to understand it because I frankly not consider myself as a creator. That's why I want to support
So
the talented. I admire talented people, really.
no, but the thing is sometimes you do things for research and sometimes you do it because you want to, correct? Sometimes you do it because you know it's good for you, but at the same time sometimes you do it because it's like guilty pleasure. So a lot of the times that I maneuver in the music industry, I balance between the two. Sometimes I do things that I know is good for the general public or the general brand or whatever, but at the same time, I there are moments where I do release things that are just me, you know? So like that is my problem to face or my challenge to overcome, understanding and balancing that too, like because a mainstream artist definitely have to cater to certain things, right? But what I do is like I would create specific schedules or styles of writing to know whether this is for y'all or is this for me. So if I sit in a studio and I hear some, okay, like I have this like meter, it's like, okay, I know this is for y'all. Then I will write for y'all. Then I will write according to what you probably want to hear. Sometimes you just want to make music. It doesn't have to mean, sometimes you hear all these like, oh, let me love you, let me be the one to, na 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 na. Like that's not super deep lyrics, but it's like
Yeah,
mainstream or it's for everybody,
yeah.
everybody to sing.
Easy to
And
digest.
that's the difference. Like I measure it like that. Is this song for all of us to sing together? Or is this song for you to remember my lyrics and understand my message? So every time I go into the studio, I always try and back and forth between the two. Like, what are we gonna do today? Let's make a song for everybody. Yeah.
Mm.
Or what are you gonna do today? You know what? I want to spit some stuff, man. I got something to say. Then it just balances between that.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Just a small comment. Do you have
Sure.
time? Because I have just few questions more, so
Uh-huh.
we can just maybe 15 more
How
minutes.
how many more questions do you have?
Three, I think.
How many questions do you have?
Three,
Okay, perfect.
three.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Okay.
go.
The one thing I want to ask is about like Asian hip hop community because it's very unique to my taste, at least what I know. And how do you feel, how you connected with the rest of the world? Like, are you connected, or you are like quite distant, or
Mm, you mean the Asian community? The Asian hip hop community?
Asian hip hop community? Yeah, I don't know, maybe you are like also
Um,
separated within the Asia as well.
to be honest, like I'm pretty yeah, I would say that like I'm pretty Singaporean Malaysian at this
Mm,
current
mm,
current point in time. But I do have uh like real strong connections, or like I want to connect with other countries like Thailand. I feel like Thailand is very, very forward thinking in the hip hop
serious.
community,
Oh
and
wow. Oh.
yeah, in Korea, and of course Japan. I just like that. Those are definitely the goals, and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Like, oh yeah, let's go to the U.S. market, or like
Mm,
let's be a success in Malaysia and just stay there. Nah, I want to like the fact that you interviewing me right now is a great sign. Like this is the exactly the kind of influence I want.
mm,
And it's like instead of me um catering or like being an artist that fits the role or the template of their artistry. For example, like I don't have to look like a Lil Pump or talk like a Lil Pump to perform next to Lil Pump. I want to bring my Singaporean flavor everywhere because
mm,
that's basically the kind of difference that we have. So
mm,
yeah, I definitely want to be connected with the Singapore or the Asian hip hop community a little bit more, and I think I have a lot to offer in that sense also because you know they can't do what I can do, and I can't do what they can do, and we have a lot to learn from each other.
mm,
So, and I've never even been to Europe. I never even been to Japan. I never even been to Korea, like in general, even to travel. So, to be honest, I've never even left Southeast Asia. I've always been in Malaysia. I've always been in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Indonesia, like all these just four countries. So I have so much to know and so much to learn. And
mm,
I'm just 25, and all that I know is contextually and just culturally here in
mm.
Singapore. So to answer your question, that is definitely something you want to check back with me in 5 years,
Oh, great. That
because
was
I
my last
definitely be
questions, but
traveling.
you already answered it. So great. But do you have some names in your head who would you like to collab with, or you look up to? Like, I'm just
Oh,
curious,
like
who is
collab with?
inspiring you? Yeah, like some names.
So so many, dude. So many.
Mm,
I wanna collaborate with a bunch of artists in Thailand, like
mm.
all the rappers in Thailand. I
Okay.
wanna and right, to be honest, when they say like don't meet your heroes,
Mm.
like you will be disappointed. Like probably wouldn't want to meet Chris Brown because I would probably wouldn't want to meet like Drake or Frank Ocean. Like the idea of it is enough for me. Like the fact that like, oh, okay, I don't want things to disappoint me. Plus, you know why I say that? Because they might not vibe with me, and I might not
Mm.
vibe with them. So to answer your question, that also you gotta check in with me in a few years time, or in the future, because right, if I go to LA, if I go to US, or if I go to Thailand, I can say whoever I want to collab with. But if we sit in the same room together, in the same studio together, and we just don't click, we just don't vibe, our inside jokes are different, and like the way we speak is just different, and like
I
we
understand.
just probably can't do it. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
understand what
I
you
could
mean.
say,
Yeah.
I could say, yeah, I could say
Mm.
I want a song with Frank Ocean, but what if Frank Ocean doesn't like my face? And I'm like, oh man, I can't do anything at this point.
So if I understand that correct, so for you it's very important to have like in to have the same vibe with the person, personal connection with them before
Yeah.
you actually do the
Yeah.
music. And
Yes.
that's the
Like that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we
yeah,
do.
that's the perfect
Yeah.
actually to my next question to you, and probably the last one,
Okay.
because um
Yeah.
for example, in the Norwegian hip hop community, we also don't have big community, but they are quite recognized. And the most interesting fact about that all the kind of the worldwide successful projects, it's a duo project. It's two people. It's like
Oh.
Madcon, Carpe Diem, maybe Madcon, probably no. So they actually
Oh.
two people, two rappers in the band, and they were exposed to the world. So I would like to ask you about you and Jan Raja. You as well-known great friends. So what is that in this
Great
like
question.
hip hop brotherhood? What is this nature of that?
Wow. To be honest, it's like push and pull. I think we see it from the start, like from hip hop. Like there's so many duos, so many. Like even the ones the Asian sharks, Joe and Malik, Too Fat. They are the ones that brought in Malay hip hop into this archipelago, like in Malaysia and in Singapore. And for me and Raja, um, we started together. He's my best friend. And like I'm not sure too. Maybe it's something in the air of hip hop. Maybe it's just meant for duos or whatsoever. Like I don't even know. You got duos like Eric B and Rakim, like Ray Sherman and all these guys. And like there's me and Raja, right? So I think for me and him, it's a divine union. Like I am his yin and he's my yang. Like or vice versa. Like I'm the skeptic, he's the opportunist, or he's the guy who's positive all the time, but I'm always questioning things. Like we have that marriage of that, and like to be honest, this is a fun fact. His birthday is 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day apart from mine. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
December,
One on one.
yeah, December 14, 1995. I'm December 13, 1996. So, like he goes to like numerologists and astrologers, and
It's a
then
sign.
they will be saying like, yeah, they'll be saying it's a sign, and you guys are soulmates and stuff. Like, oh, Fariz, you have these weaknesses about you, but like Raja has them as strengths. So you go to him and ask him for help, blah blah blah. And it's been working all the way. So I mean, like, so for me and him specifically, it's more of a best friend thing rather than like a hey man, let's work together type thing. It's not like that. It's like we both want to be successful. We both want to set trends and hit waves in Singapore and be the biggest legends that we've ever seen here. So we both have the same goal in mind, and that's why that's why we're not a duo. And the reason why we're not a duo is because we both gotta set out and do our own things first and then come back. Because if we start together, favorism, jealousy, blah blah blah, we foresee that, right? And that's why we wanted to separate ways, but at the same time we're best friends still.
Yeah.
But I think, it's only time, and
Yeah.
it's only time for us to come back
Yeah, definitely.
together.
And I
Yeah.
think you're definitely on a way, definitely on the right path to be like a significant Singaporean kind of
Thank
export
you.
or something.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you so much.
yeah, and yeah, I really wish you all these achievements. And just the last question to kind of wrap up our thing.
Sure.
What is your it's a bit pathos, but you cannot, if you don't want, you don't need to make a serious answer. What is
Okay,
your
okay.
dream? Like, what is your dream in a life?
My dream is okay, I always have this dream, like a specific dream. It's not about career, it's not about career, it's not about like money or whatever. My dream is that my entire family could stay in the same house. Stay in the same house. I want to pay off every single one of my parents' debts or my sister's debts, or I want to make sure that my nieces and nephews are set for their education, and like I want everybody to have the best healthcare. Like that's it. That to me personally, that's my personal dream. If you want to talk about my career dream, like the ceiling, there's no ceiling.
Mm.
I don't know where I'm gonna be in a year. I don't even remember what I did last year, but I know that I have grown at least 3 times, like character wise, you know what I mean? So my dream for my career is like, I know it sounds like a PR answer, but I want Singapore music to be like out there properly and respected properly as like one of the leading, not just Asian, but as a worldwide force, you know? So
Cool.
that's my dream. And I think we're on our way. We are on our way. Just
Definitely.
give us like a couple more years. We good.
Yes.
We good. We'll work hard and we'll make sure that we'll make us proud. Like definitely.
Yeah,
That's the dream.
that's a great word. And I actually, what I see from today's interview, you're definitely on the right path, and you have everything what is
Thank you.
needed to reach your goal. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Olga. Thank you so much.
for this, for your
Thank
time,
you.
for your super
No
clever and
worries.
like fulfilling answers.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy that our audience will get to know such a great musician, which you definitely need to put an eye on. And good luck
Thank
in
you so
your
much, Olga.
dreams.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of this Artist Spotlight. If you're interested in all our other content, please subscribe to our channel and check out it here. And we see you next time.